Hello, hello. Welcome back to the GSMC Wrestling Laureate Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. Just to kind of reflect on what we talked about. We talked about our, AEW Dynamite review, and we also talked about our Thursday Night Wrestling preview, Ring of Honor and Impact Wrestling. So to kind of move forward with this, and like I said before, honestly, if things don't go swell, this could very much be the end of Tony Khan's promotions of AEW or Turner Television. So, honestly, I'm praying. I am praying that this pay per view goes really, really good because when it comes, competition, comes somebody trying to prove that they're better than you are. Like, you know what I mean? Kind of like LeBron. Over and over again, he came up short against the Golden State Warriors over and over again, but then he come back and he ruled ass, dude. He came back. No, I'm just kidding. No, you can't really, but NBA reference. Obviously, but this is not an NBA podcast, although I love the NBA. But let's move forward with this. So let's get ready to rumble. Oh, hopefully. So we have AEW Dynasty is projected to have tens and thousands of fans. Tens and thousands of fans. Is that enough? Is that enough, guys? To be honest, maybe. Seeing what has happened on Saturday Night Collision, Friday Night Rampage, AEW Dynamite Wednesdays, to have anything short of tens and thousands would absolutely be astronomically terrible. They need for this to be perfect. Kind of like Vince McMahon introducing kind of like the feeling of WrestleMania. This needs to be stellar. This is an inaugural event. So this is like a once thing. Honestly, I think this is kind of like their WrestleMania. And kind of like TNA had like Bound for Glory was their WrestleMania. But this needs to be good. This needs to be stellar. This needs to have people like Lil Wayne come out and singing their theme songs or something like that. Lil Wayne, heck no, bring back Bob Marley. Bob Marley, find a way to bring back Bob Marley from the dead so he can sing some, rest in peace, Bob Marley. But just like find a way to kind of have him like draw attention to this AEW product because if this doesn't go good, you can kiss AEW goodbye. Goodbye. And I'm not happy about it. I'm not. I recently really got into AEW and I don't really want it to go. I do not. So let's get on into it. So you're gonna see big stars like Daniel Bryan, Kojusuke Kazuchika Okada, Samoa Joe, William Ospreay, and then you're gonna have 8 championship bouts, which is pretty cool. So far, so good. It's gonna be streaming live, 8 p.m. Eastern time on Sunday on Bleacher Report and Thriller TV. And it's going to kick off with the AEW Trios Championship and the Ring of Honor Six-Man Championship. You're going to see the Acclaimed with Anthony Bowens and Max Caster and Billy Gunn or Daddy Ass against the Bullet Club Gold, which is Jay White, Austin Gunn, and Carter Gunn. And this is a winner take all. This is a winner take all match. The winner takes on. They take home the gold, which is kind of cool. You kind of see that going on there, which makes me think that maybe they're trying to like not merger. It's thanks because AEW is not afraid to kind of go through that forbidden door. It's not really like kind of like a merger. It's kind of like one of those things where you see AEW superstars who are allowed to go to New Japan Wrestling, like John Moxley, who are allowed to come from Ring of Honor to the main stage, kind of like Matt Cardona, who are allowed to come from New Japan Wrestling to AEW, kind of like what Okada did and defeated Eddie Kingston for the Continental Championship on AEW like a month ago. So these are like forbidden doors that are open, and honestly, that's kind of something that AEW will always have over the WWE. I think that's pretty dope. Next, we kind of have Adam Copeland against Eddie Kingston and Mark Briscoe against House of Black. House of Black consists of Malachi Black, Brody King, and Buddy Matthews. This match is going to be absolutely stellar. This is going to be a great match. You're going to see basically one of the most hard-nosed wrestlers on AEW, Ring of Honor, and New Japan. and they're going to go at it. They're going to go at the House of Black, who has been over and over again just absolutely reaving heck on top of the promotions. And Adam Copeland's he's a dog, and he's not willing to like give his body up. Obviously, what you saw in the WWE, he's not willing to just kind of lay down. And you have Eddie Kingston. Can Eddie Kingston afford to lose another match? You saw him lose the Continental Championship against Okada. You saw him lose the Ring of Honor World Championship against his teammate, coincidentally enough, Mark Briscoe. Can he afford to lose another match? I don't think so. Eddie Kingston, right now, he's got to be fighting for, something more. And then, of course, you have Mark Briscoe, who's absolutely on fire. I don't think anybody can beat this guy right now. This guy could probably challenge Roman Reigns and probably win. Based on his wrestling abilities, his name, image, likeness with the fans, whatever he like to say in terms of college football. But I don't know, like this guy's on fire, and I hope these three superstars prevail because honestly, and I'm not trying to seem, like a jerk, but I hate House of Black. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. No, that was too much. That was too much, Eric. That was too much. Go back. I'm just kidding. Next, we have the FTW Championship. We have Hook against Chris Jericho. FTW rules. This past AEW Dynamite Wednesday, you kind of saw Taz being pushed down by Chris Jericho, which I kind of thought was not funny because you never want to see anybody fall down, and it'd be funny. But I'm just kidding. No, but ultimately, you kind of saw Taz, the ultimate submissions machine, the total badass of ECW. Just get Chris Jericho's really like he was like, nah. And all of a sudden he was like, ah! Like, it was like, and then his son Hook was like, Dad! Like it was like I don't know. It seemed like it was like two staged. I guess I was like, you know what? I'm not like totally into it, but this is funny as hell. This is good. No, but like I don't know. You're gonna see Chris Jericho, and like I said in the prior podcast, there's gonna be a way that they're gonna find a way to put Chris Jericho against Hook. Hook has been on a total crazy reign for the FTW Championship, so it wouldn't surprise me if Chris Jericho picks up the win here. Honestly, I would kind of prefer for him to win this championship solely because one, Hook seems like he's been the FTW championship. He's kind of faced everyone inside and out of the AEW, and he just seems like when he fights his matches, you as a viewer, you're like, man, I'm bored. I've seen this shiz before. Like, what the hell? And then second, his contract is up. His contract is up. There's a lot of speculation saying that he might go to WWE. Will he go to WWE? I don't think he would. It's kind of like Bronny James coming out from the draft and not signing with any other team besides someone his dad is on. But honestly, I would like to see Chris Jericho pick up the victory here. So, you know. Next, we have the AEW International Championship, Roderick Strong versus Kyle O'Reilly. One of the things that I kind of thought about and I'm kind of heartbroken about because I was a huge Undisputed Era guy when they were in the NXT with Bobby Fish, Adam Cole, Roderick Strong, and Kyle O'Reilly. Obviously, good things have to come to an end. And Roderick Strong attacked Kyle O'Reilly, and it's personal now. It's personal now. Any hope you had that Kyle O'Reilly would join the Undisputed Kingdom is now dead. It's gone. Absolutely gone. It's bupkis. You're not going to see that happen. Guess what? Uh-uh. No, no, no. What did I tell you what would happen? Exactly what would happen. I'm just kidding. But anyways, I don't think Roderick Strong is in any way, shape, or form ready to kind of lose his belt. He's obviously kind of like one of the steeples so far that the international champion has. He's represented the championship very, very well. And to be honest, Kyle O'Reilly, although he's been very, very impressive, isn't ready yet to kind of hold down such a burden as the AEW International Champion. So, rooting for Kyle O'Reilly, but wouldn't be surprised if he lost. Next, we had the TBS Championship. We have Julia Hart against Willow of Nightingale in a House of Rules match. a House Rules match. I was like, man, what the heck is a House Rules match? Like, obviously, you have the Dark, House of Black, Julia Hart against Willow Nightingale, kind of like that light, kind of like that powerhouse underdog, kind of like an Edge versus Batista, like what we talked about in the steel cage match last podcast. But I don't know, the House Rules match, you have a 20-second count out, and then you also have DQs are enforced, with no rope breaks. Which so whoever has the urge when it comes to submission, Julia Hart, and then you have dealer's choice. The challenger gets to set one stipulation. What will Willow of Nightingale choose for her stipulation? Hmm, I don't know. Maybe a no submission I'm just kidding. No, imagine that. That'd be pretty cool. Honestly, no submissions. Well, last woman standing match. Nothing goes. No, nothing. Submission goes. Submission obviously goes. Submission goes. But you don't need to have a kick-ass submission like Julia Hart does to kind of proceed with your endeavors in terms of the AEW Women's Championship. So it wouldn't surprise me if Willow Nightingale kind of throws kind of like a curveball here. Like, you know what I mean? Let's see Phil Cole at the mound throw something more at Julia Hart that she's not expecting. Who knows? Who knows? So next, you have the AEW Continental Championship match between Kazuchika Okada versus the Bastard Pack Continental Rules match. Obviously, Okada is the five-time IWPG Heavyweight Champion. His longest run was 722 days. Obviously, very, very, very impressive. And of course, now with the Continental Rules match, meaning that any outside interference is going to be severely punished. What does that mean? I have no idea. I have no idea. Like severely punished. What does that mean? Does he gonna is he gonna tie one hand behind his back? Maybe. Is he like I have to perform a podcast without like my mouth? I'm just kidding. I don't know what it means when it comes to like being severely punished for outside interference, but anyways, it should be interesting. All right, next we're gonna have the AEW Tag Team Championships. Obviously, Darby Allin and Sting, the icon Sting at Revolution, won these AEW World Tag Team titles, but because Sting retired and Darby Allin went out with an injury, he was forced to kind of relinquish the tag team titles. Obviously, you can't fight this match on your own, so he relinquished it, which was the right decision. But now you kind of have you have the EVPs, the Young Bucks, Matt Jackson and Nick Jackson fighting the FTR, Cash Wheeler and Dax Hardwood in a ladder match. So don't be surprised if this is one of those matches that kind of takes over here. That kind of takes over, kind of the attention of the crowd because especially what happened with showing the CM Punk footage of Jack Perry and all that kind of stuff, and which sources say that the Young Bucks weren't really in favor of doing that. It was more like a Tony Khan kind of thing. But to be honest, this could be good. This is going to be a really good match. Can I see the EVPs coming out victorious? Um, to be honest, I don't want them to, just for better story plot, but I think they will. I think right now you kind of have the Rainmaker, the Elite, you have EVP, but you also got to remember Kenny Omega's coming back. Kenny Omega will come back. Obviously, he's had, his rivalry between Okada and him has been absolutely astronomically awesome in terms of the professional wrestling world. So it wouldn't surprise me if he comes back with Hangman Adam Page and maybe a couple other guys to kind of, take over that AEW World Championship and also the Continental Championship. So wouldn't surprise me if that happened. Next, we have our AEW World's Women's Championship match between the timeless Tony Storm and Thunder Rosa. This match is honestly, I think it's kind of up in the air. I love Tony Storm. I love Thunder Rosa more. Both of these superstars 2 weeks ago during the Champagne Toast, you saw Thunder Rosa kind of getting her ass kicked. And then a week ago, well, no, not a week ago. Last Wednesday, you kind of saw Thunder Rosa, kind of, come up and put her in that camel clutch and kind of insert herself as the next woman to hold the AEW championship since she relinquished it in 2022. But I don't know. It's like one of those things where if Tony Storm lost it, you kind of look at how long she's held the belt. You kind of like, you know what? She's good. Like she kind of did her shit, did her stuff. She was able to, kind of prove the naysayers wrong. She was able to prove the fact that she can hold this company on her back. And Thunder Rosa comes back, like she had the company on her back, had to relinquish the title due to injury and come back waiting, ready, absolutely determined to fight Timeless Tony Storm for this AEW World Women's Championship. This girl is as determined as ever. Absolutely. You can't stop this girl. You can't stop this girl. And that's the reason why I think Thunder Rosa is going to pick up the victory. But both girls, very, 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 very impressive. So honestly, this is one of those sleeper matches. It's gonna be one of those sleeper matches that's gonna end out really, really good. Wouldn't surprise me if this is the best match during AEW Dynasty. Next you have Will Ospreay versus Daniel Bryan. Both of them are fighting to be the best technical wrestler in the world. Really? I'm just kidding. No, like that's cool, dude. Like I love that. I think that's awesome. Brian Danielson. I think, did I say that right? Oh my God. He's a jolly good fellow. Oh, he's a jolly good fellow. For he's a jolly good fellow. I finally said that stuff right. Uh, but no, honestly, this is going to be a great match. It's going to be a good match. You see the two of the dudes that have absolutely been killing it in the wrestling world. This is honestly one of the best matches in not just AEW Dynasty, but the world of professional wrestling. Because just think about it. These guys have been through the sector all over the world. All over the world. New Japan Wrestling, Ring of Honor, Impact, AEW, Independent Circus. Like these guys have been absolutely all over the world. If anything spells out world champion without the title, this is going to be it. This is like the best world wrestler. It doesn't have the world's wrestling championship title. It doesn't have that championship kind of endeavor, but this is the best world wrestler, and that's kind of what Will Ospreay is trying to prove. So against Brian Danielson. So I'm for it. It's going to be a great match. All right, and to kind of end this off here, I know this has kind of been longer than we expected. We're going to have an AEW World Championship match between Samoa Joe and Swerve Strickland. And this match is going to be hard to kind of predict because you have Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe's kind of like that sure thing. He's kind of like that Patrick Mahomes kind of Las Vegas kind of feel like if you had to pick if you had to pick Samoa Joe against anybody in the AEW roster to win a match, you're going to pick Samoa Joe. And Swerve Strickland has been very bloodthirsty. He's been very vengeful. And he's kind of like that Philadelphia Eagles where he was like, one play. I was one play away from dethroning you. And, and that's just something that I think that Samoa Joe can't get out of his mind. Honestly, I love Samoa Joe. He's been absolutely on a tear. He's the Samoan, submission machine. I don't think anybody's going to come close to even his success when it comes to AEW world title runs. But, dude, Swerve Strickland, man, he's bloodthirsty. He's brutal. He's tapped into kind of like that untamed source. And honestly, if Samoa Joe kind of has a chance here, he's going to have to kind of tap into it and kind of be like a technical match. Kind of have like a fundamental match. He can't let Swerve Strickland kind of dictate the match on his own. You can't really kind of let this match kind of get into like a grappling, kind of striking, kind of like a brawl match because Swerve Strickland is pissed off enough to the point where he can win. He can win, and that's something that WWE, AEW, whatever wrestling promotion kind of has in common that the wrestler that's willing to throw down the biggest hands usually picks up the victory. Nevertheless, momentum on your side, you're able to do fantastic things. So it wouldn't surprise me if we see my boy Strickland pick up the victory at AEW Dynasty this Sunday at St. Louis. So, yeah, excited to see it. All right, next we're gonna cap this off. Bottoms up, Thirsty Thursday presentation. So what I'm gonna talk about is I'm gonna bring up some wrestling superstars that I think would be good company in terms of like hanging out, kind of having a drink with. B, what I think their poison would be. And three, one question that I would absolutely ask them. I know this is a little goofy, but hey, hope you enjoy it.